joining us, and let's dive straight in this week with what we've been calling Stupid Watergate 2. The scandal that's like getting a rubber chicken stuck in your arse. It's obviously kind of funny, but also actually serious, and something really needs to be done about it. Now, this week, the House continued calling witnesses ahead of public impeachment hearings that will start next Wednesday. But the President has already figured out who is really to blame for everything and chose his daily helicopter yell time to share it with everyone.
It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me.
That might actually be Donald Trump at his Donald Trumpiest. First, screaming something nonsensical, I caught the swamp. Then, doubling down on it, I caught them all. And finally, bragging about how great he was at doing something that didn't mean anything in the first place. Nothing there made any sense, and yet you just know, in 2 days, his website will be sold out of I Caught the Swamp hats. Because that's the fucking world we live in right now. But that wasn't even the most desperate defence of the President employed this week, because that honour must go to Lindsey Graham, a man whose very face looks like a nana who just found out what thruples are. Graham argued that he knows the President didn't demand a quid pro quo with some spectacular logic.
What I can tell you about the Trump policy toward the Ukraine, it was incoherent. It depends on who you talk to. They seem to be incapable of forming a quid pro quo.
So, wait, to be clear here, Graham's defence has gone from there was no quid pro quo to Trump is too dumb to do one. And that argument alone is terrifying. Graham is essentially saying the President's an idiot. He's like a baby stumbling around aimlessly in a diaper full of his own boom-boom, and that is why he must stay in office and retain access to the nuclear codes. But while Stupid Watergate 2 continues to unfold, this week actually brought news from the previous version, Stupid Watergate 1, Rise of the Planet of the Stupid. Now, you may remember the plot here was actually pretty solid. Essentially, it was about the Trump campaign's contacts with Russia. Who talked to whom, and what did the President know? A lot of that came out in the Mueller report, but certain details, like those involving WikiLeaks, were redacted because they pertain to ongoing cases. Well, this week, one of those cases reached a courtroom, and at the centre of it is Roger Stone, a steampunk Andy Warhol who is in a lot of trouble.
Roger Stone's trial for allegedly lying to Congress got underway in a Washington, D.C. courtroom today. Federal prosecutors argued that Stone lied to Congress about his efforts to connect with WikiLeaks in 2016 because the truth looked bad for Donald Trump.
Right. Roger Stone is accused of lying to have the President's back, not to be confused with having a lying President on his back, because Stone has this actual tattoo, which is simply the weirdest tattoo I have ever seen. Not just because it's of Richard Nixon, but because it is somehow both too big and not big enough. And the placement of it is terrible. It looks like someone censor-justified a Nixon JPEG at the top of a blank Word document. Stone stands accused of misleading Congress about his efforts to get information from WikiLeaks. He claims that he never spoke directly with Julian Assange and testified in 2017 that he'd instead relied upon an intermediary, specifically this man, Randy Credico, a radio host and comedian. Credico has denied being that intermediary, and Stone has not reacted well to that because prosecutors read some of Stone's messages to Credico in court, and they are rough.
Stone writes to Credico, "You are a rat, a stoolie, you backstab your friends. I am so ready. Let's get it on. Prepare to die."
Holy shit! Although I will say, it's actually unsurprising to hear mafia-style threats coming from Roger Stone, a man who looks like his entire wardrobe consists of mob boss Halloween costumes from the discount racket Party City. And yet, Stone has argued that Prepare to Die has been taken out of context.